Okay, before starting any drawing or illustration, I like to leave a little white border around. I feel like it makes it look a lot more professional and clean. And to help make it even, what I've done is I've traced around on my drawing board. Now obviously I don't care about my drawing board getting dirty, so yeah, that's kind of up to you. So I've got an 8x10 piece of paper, and I've traced an outline around here so that I have a good placement. And I've decided that I want a 1/2 inch border around, and I have 1 inch painter's tape, so I've added 1/2 inch around the border of the paper. Now, aligning my paper here into the outline, and then take my tape, and I'm also going to stick this against my pant leg just to kind of take a little bit of the tack off, so that when I go to pull it off of the paper, it doesn't tear the paper. So we want it kind of sticky, but not too much. All right. Now, all I have to do is line up the edge, the outer edge of my outline. There we go. Do that all the way around, and we'll have a nice 1/2 inch border. Being right-handed, I start my graphite drawings from the top left corner. That way I won't drag my hand into anything and smear it. And for this particular drawing, I'm using a 4H pencil for her light skin, and I don't press very hard because it is a very hard lead. It will indent very easily. I'm using a standard number 2 pencil for my mid-tones, also known as HB, and a 3B for most of my shadows. For the darkest areas, I'm using an 8B, which is a super soft pencil, and you want to be careful pressing hard with it because it can create a fine dust that easily smears all over the paper, your hands, your dog, your life. Keep in mind the areas that look white might not always be so. If you look closer, you might realize that there's several subtle shades of gray, and incorporating those values with deep darks is what's going to give your picture a better sense of depth. I fill details in as I go by gauging distances from one shadow or shape to another. I'll figure, hey, this nostril or wrinkle is to the left or right of this shadow by this far. This used to be pretty tedious, but after doing it for so long, it kind of go autopilot now. And if you guys want me to elaborate more on this technique, I can do so in a future video. Just let me know. When I'm shading, I'm usually doing a mixture between cross-hatching and what I like to call as little swooshies, so little circular movements. And I always try to kind of mimic the curve of whatever it is that I'm shading. For example, if I'm doing like a ball, I try to go back and forth and maintain like a curve as if I'm literally drawing on top of the circular object. Swooshies is a technical term, by the way. For some of my highlights, I'm using a mechanical eraser. I find it really convenient for detail work because of how skinny it is. I then go back in and refine the highlights with my pencil, varying the widths and values. I think this helps to better incorporate them into the picture rather than having the highlights look like they're sitting above it. One thing that helps me with shadowing, especially like clothes with all the folds and ripples, is realizing that anywhere that there's going to be a highlight, there's got to be a shadow too. So anytime there's light, there's got to be dark, and vice versa. Which makes sense when you realize that the only way you can perceive light is if you have the dark to compare it to. And ta-da! And one of the most satisfying parts is carefully, slowly peeling off this tape and revealing the perfect 1/2 inch border. I hope you all enjoyed it. Bye-bye!